Hello, my name's Jim Stime and I'm the LA Fish Guy. I'd like to invite you to ride along to see how the aquarium industry works from the inside. I'd like to show you freshwater fish, saltwater fish, coral reef, as well as some koi ponds. But you know, it may not always be pretty and it may not always be paradise, but it is Los Angeles, the city of angels. Welcome to LA Fish Guys. A fish guy's day can start at the crack of dawn and can end well after the sun has gone down. His cell phone could ring at any moment, and he's likely, and out of the blue, to start talking about fish. It seems as though once it's in your blood, it's always on your mind. With today's social media and instant communication, if you're good, then everyone knows about it. A true fish guy's interest is in the quality of life and the product or the service he offers. And that extends well beyond sunrise or sunset. Just north of downtown LA in Glendale, California, is Tropical Imports. It's early in the morning and Dean Inman is just arriving to open his tropical fish store.
Hey, good morning, Jim. We're here a little early today to check out the new fish we just got in. So come on, let's go see what we got. Ordered a bunch of stuff. We'll see what happens.
Being the owner usually means that you're the one who opens up the store in the morning.
Okay, we'll go back in here and give ourselves a little light.
And wakes up the fish.
See how everybody's doing this morning. Well, we'll walk out back and see what came in. I ordered quite a few different bags of fish from a few different countries, so we'll see what come in. Come on.
As a retail store, you can get fish basically two different ways. You go out and get them yourself, or you have a wholesaler or a jobber select and bring them to you. Dean does both, and this morning he's expecting a number of boxes of freshwater fish.
Hey, and here they are. All right. Got a few fish, got some plants, watchdog.
And just like prayers and wishes, not everything that you've ordered is always available. Dean's shipment is a little bit lighter than he expected.
Well, we didn't get everything we ordered, but we got quite a few things, so we'll open them up and see how they look.
Down on the west side near Los Angeles International Airport is Sea Dwelling Creatures. SDC supplies saltwater fish and corals. Part of that process of providing quality livestock is the actual fulfillment process. This requires the knowledge of the product, an understanding of its needs, and the process of how to package that order. Who is this man behind the watery curtain?
I'm Terry Banner. I work on the customer service side of things. Basically, as we're filling the order, I'll reach out to the customer and offer them possible substitutes for items that we were out of inventory on. So in this particular instance, we were short on 50 seraph snails, a powder brown tang, some grouper, and a couple of corals. What we ended up doing was subbing in. He's given me a budget of $50 to $60 to spend on hard corals, which I'll go pull for him. We also subbed in a powder blue instead of the powder brown, and we're going to send him margarita turbo snails instead of the seraph. So just kind of filling out the order, making sure the customer knows what's coming, what's not, and has an opportunity to sub out and do what, fill out the order, maximize the shipping dollar, really. And that's my main priority here, is in a customer service capacity, is making sure customers are aware of what's coming, what's not, and you could call me Phil in a sense. I will help fill the order to the extent that they want it. Phil, I like that. So in that capacity, that's my priority one. The other stuff that my other priorities here, or my other responsibilities, include the my co-managers and I help supervise the teams that actually take the orders, go out and pull the fish and corals, bring them back to the tables where they're sized and checked for quality, and then eventually bagged and boxed and shipped via mostly airlines. Basically, the rule on the cross-offs is 90% and over, or 90% and under would receive a call. Although we try and make sure if they're pertinent items to the order that we're getting them a phone call and that they know. Achilles tang comes to mind, juvenile chevrons, high-end fish like that. If we turn up missing anything like that, we want to make sure the customer's in the loop and at least has an opportunity to fill that space. That could be $100 of fish or whatnot that they might not. That wanted to receive that they don't have.
And of course, you have an air freight issue, so you want to maximize what's in the box.
Absolutely.
You don't want to send a half box of stuff just because you weren't able to fill it.
No, that sure raises the average price of your fish.
Talk a little bit about that freight and filling the balance of the box.
Well, most of what we ship is via the airlines. The airlines for most freight will require a 100-pound minimum. So what we try and encourage our customers to do is place at least a 3-box order, a standard box of fish weighing about 35 pounds. That third box gets you over the 100-pound limit, and then at that point you're maximizing your shipping dollars. You're going to get charged for 3 boxes anyway. It just makes sense to buy that much. You're gonna, the 100 pounds is going to get charged. So that's one of the ways that we combat that. For FedEx, it's also very cost. You're very aware of the cost for shipping. Very aware of the freight, of course, the freight costs. FedEx also, we ship a few things FedEx. You want to make sure that box is full because they have a flat rate per box, and you want to ensure that you're getting as many fish or as many coral in there as you can.
And talk a little bit about quality. Do you oversee the quality?
Absolutely. And it's not just myself. There's a team of 3 to 5 managers that are working the line at any given time that are checking for sizing, quality, any of the normal signs of stress, heavy breathing, diving, not swimming right, discoloration of fins or skin, those types of things, eyes, just basically anything that may be wrong with the fish or corals that would signify.
It doesn't do you any good to send out a bad fish.
Worst thing in my capacity I could ever do is send something that won't sell.
If you want them to call back.
Hey, I'm not in this for the short run.
Up in the northwestern edge of the LA metropolis is Thousand Oaks. My name's Jim, and I run a successful aquarium maintenance business by the name of Aquarium Design. We've just about reached the end of the fish wish list for the 400-gallon Bowfront aquarium. And what I mean by that is the homeowner gave us a list of the fish he'd like to put into the tank. I went and added some that I thought were an appropriate mix with those fish, and then structured them out in what I would consider an appropriate loading schedule. Meaning, to try to avoid territorial issues, not only did we all add all the same species at one time, but we started off, say, with the damsels, then the clownfish, the schools of butterflies. We tried the dwarf or the pygmy angel fishes. We then added in some of the trigger fish. We then added in a wrasse. We then added in some hawkfish, followed by the angel fishes. And now we're ready to try the tangs. I've held off on the tangs to be the last because they are the most territorial. On his wish list, he asked for the coal or yellow eye tang. And in addition to that, I added the naso tang. I added a chocolate tang. I've also added some blue tangs to that. And I believe there's one more tang in here, a tomy tang, to that list. And we're now ready to add those fishes. I believe what I'm going to do is break up those tangs into 2 different groups. I'm going to go with the naso tangs, there's 2 of them, because they would tend to be the less territorial, and I can add the rest of them later. As I mentioned, those nasotangs, and there's two of them here. They're both the blonde nasotangs. I've probably had them for about 4 weeks now. They appear to be doing well. They're responsive. They come out and feed on a regular basis. They also feed on nori, or the little sushi paper. So that might become part of the feeding regimen for those fish once we get them into the big 400. I have run into one little concern though, and that is I have the blue tangs here, and these are called yellow-bellied Red Sea blue tangs. I bought 4 of them. There's only 2 in the bucket. Looks like we lost one here, and then I can't find the 4th one. So I've done some exploration in the tank, and I was not successful in finding that 4th blue tang. Again, here's the 3rd one, and we probably want to take a little bit of a look at him and try to determine, is there an issue with him which might alert us as to, is there going to be an issue with the 2 remaining blue tangs that'll go into the tank?
Knowing that I'm the fellow who has to answer to, and I'm the one who would have to resolve any issues as a result of my decisions in the fish that I add to the tank. So it behooves me to make sure that the fish I place in the customer's tank are as healthy and as problem-free as possible. So with careful examination, I've determined that the remaining blue tangs do not appear to have any issues, and that I'm comfortable adding them to this customer's aquarium. And with the 2 blonde nasotangs and the 2 yellow-bellied tangs placed into buckets, I can now load them into the van along with 40 gallons of new seawater and 3 boxes of clean decorative corals. Back down on the west side in Hermosa Beach, Dan from Age of Aquariums is starting the plumbing of a 20-foot-long, 1,200-gallon aquarium. Dan, along with Sean and Jason, are now finalizing their plans on the pumps and the pipes.
And then we'll still do a valve over there too.
Yeah, so there'll be a valve here.
These.
Yeah, the valve there, both of these over there, and then the final one.
Okay.
And then that way, and then there'll be one right before the pump. So.
And with the bulkhead issues behind them, Jason finishes tightening them, and Sean begins to assemble the plumbing inside the tank. Dan's plan involves a number of horizontal drain lines. To do this properly requires that each pipe is firmly suspended.
Can we angle it, and then can we just
Angle and go down?
and go down and then just strap it? Because we can't have all that weight on it.
Yeah.
As long as you know the weight on it, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd rather do that just because we're gonna come down too far.
Okay. That's fine.
I've always said plumbing is art, and when it comes to which PVC cement to use, well, I guess it's all on how well you use it.
Oh, you like the purple stuff, huh?
That way you can see where it covers.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it.
So a lot of people, well, many people prefer the clear.
Me.
But if, I'd rather be able to make sure that I have a clear cover, especially since it's going to be hidden. Knowing that it's well primed and it's softened up really helps. So same with the gray. So even though this is going to be Schedule 40 pipe and Schedule 8 is normally gray, I still go with the gray.
Like I said, it's all on how you use it. With reducers glued into the bulkheads, the first thing Sean will do is add in the union ball valves. These valves allow for easy removal if needed, allow for flow control, and are the beginning of the plumbing that leads to the water pumps.
So what's that pump going to do?
This is the 1/4 horsepower closed loop pump, which will go ahead and pull the water out of the bottom of the tank, go into the filtration room. We're going to split it off into a manifold to go through a UV sterilizer, a chiller, and a pleated filter also, filter plate. 100 micron, 100 square foot filter plate. And that was chosen for its energy efficiency and its quiet running pump. And it can overcome, has a head pressure of about 20 feet, which we need to pump through everything.
And the second pump?
The second pump is a 1/8 horsepower pump, and that's going to have a flow rate of approximately 2,000 gallons an hour going through into the pumping from the overflow boxes and the bottom of the tank up to the filter sump in the filtration room, and then the water will gravity feed back down into the aquarium.
So if I heard correctly, there are two water pumps. One that circulates water within the tank, and the second pumps water up to a filter reservoir. The gravity flows back down into the tank. Does your aquarium look like this? Would you like it to grow less algae? Algae scrubbers work! And for the latest in convenience, simplicity, and low cost, meet the Hog Upflow Algae Scrubber. Air pump driven and LED light illuminated, the Hog fits easily into your sump or aquarium. For more information, visit santa-monica.cc. Next time you're near Long Beach, California, take the time to stop in at Age of Aquariums, 2642 Cherry Avenue, just off the 405 freeway near Signal Hill. Age of Aquariums carries a full line of dry goods, supplements, and exotic equipment. Age of Aquariums also carries a wide assortment of living corals, coral frags, as well as fresh and saltwater fish, ranging from the usual, the unusual, and the bizarre. Age of Aquariums is located at 2642 Cherry Avenue, Long Beach, California, near Signal Hill. Open 7 days a week. Call 562-438-6252 or visit ageofaquariums.biz. Up north of downtown LA and to the far east end of the San Fernando Valley in Glendale is Tropical Import. Dean Inman has just opened his retail store.
All right, let's see what we got here. Put up my sign so nobody slips.
And is beginning to open up an early morning shipment of freshwater fish and aquatic plants.
All right, let's see here. I'll get my big knife out here so I can get into these boxes.
Dean was expecting a much bigger shipment, but apparently not everything that he ordered was available for delivery today.
This looks like our plants that we got in. Let's see. Got some nice Amazon swords in. Got some anacris. And looks like some potted swords. A little hard to see in there, but looks like we're missing a few items. Kind of the story of our lives. We never get everything we order. Looks like I got about half of what I ordered. You always go a little bit heavy so that we can possibly get more than we want.
It seems Dean's been down this road before. He intentionally over-orders so that with shortages, he still receives enough livestock to fill up his tanks.
All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh, we got some nice guppies from Sri Lanka. Nice assortment there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got some feeder guppies here. These will make some big fish very happy. Let's see. Ooh, got some nice African cichlids, some electric blues. Very nice. Wow, those are incredible. Wow, those are nice. All right, let's go find these guys a home that we can temperature acclimate them.
Even after 20 years, getting fish in is still just like Christmas morning.
Let's see here. I'll put those guys down here. We got some Africans last week as well. We'll put them up in here. Some of these bags we have to open a little bit. Well, let's do this right. Let's get a bag here and drain some of this water off.
And just like saltwater fish, you still need to acclimate the freshwater fish to their new environment. There's still the issue of temperature, along with water chemistry variations.
Most of these fish have already had a water change and acclimated a little more to our water here. Drain off some of this water and acclimate those guys. Wow, those are really nice. Very nice. Nice electric blues. All right, let's see what else we've got going here.
Allowing the bag of fish to sit in the tank will help the new fish adjust to their new environment.
All right, we got another bag of feeder guppies. We saw a lot of feeder guppies. We got a lot of hungry fish out there. Here are some rummy-nosed tetras. Those are gonna be really nice. And then here we've got some Congo tetras. All right, so we got some of these already, so let's put them in an aquarium here. We'll get those guys there. And the Congos I have right over in here. Put those guys, I had a few left, so now we got some new friends for them. And let's see here, what else we've got. The guppies, we are gonna have to. All right, our guppies, we got quite a few of those guys. We're gonna have to put those in a couple different tanks, but we'll acclimate them right now to the water temp.
Determining which bags of fish go into which tank is all based on previous inventory and knowing fish compatibility.
Wow, those are pretty nice as well. All right, now we'll find a tank for my rummy nose. I'm actually thinking we'll put the rummy nose right here with these tetras. Okay, we'll put those guys there. All right, let's see what else we've got here.
Managing livestock inventory is not an easy chore. It requires time, compatibility, and adaptability to availability.
Yeah, again, a little disappointed. We didn't get everything we wanted. One week we will, the next week we won't. It changes every week. Here's some nice assorted cichlids. Oh man, there's some nice guys in there as well. Got a little assortment there.
Just south of Century Boulevard and at the tip of the LAX runway is Sea-Dwelling Creatures. Terry Banner is making sure that his orders are filled 100% full.
For the infamous Borboni Xanthias. This is our man Hido making the magic at table 8.
Best of the best, you already know.
That's what we're talking about. Oh, and my classic mistake. Out of sight, out of mind. Don't want to forget this guy's last fish. That's another one of those regal yellow belly angels. The order's written up on a standard form with just about everything from angels to zebra octopus written in on it. This will go into the office for invoicing. We'll match up the bags and the boxes. Everything convenes at the driver's section where they'll basically get the appropriate identifiers for the airlines to be able to differentiate between orders. big old Borgonius, get a bigger pack because that's about $100 Anthias there. They came in looking really nice. Alright, so the process after this is he'll come back and count the bags and the boxes. We'll make a double count over here so the driver knows how many boxes to come over and pick up, and we can track how many fish we actually ship out. It's kind of a button up to when the customer receives the shipment and goes through the boxes, we have a way to just double verify what we sent them is what they're receiving. Hyro's the ultimate professional. That thing never touches any sides of the bag. He's got it in water the whole time.
The size of the bag is important, as this is the space the inhabitant resides in for the next 12 to 24 hours. Oxygen is pumped into the bags not only to expand and shape the bag, but it's also the occupant's life source until the bag is reopened again. Closing the bag requires an understanding.
These you can't clip because they're too big. They got a rubber band on. They won't fit in the machine. Aha! Yeah, so you have to put rubber bands on them so the air won't come in.
These bags are too big to fit into the crimper, so each large bag is manually closed with a hand-tightened set of rubber bands. The smaller bags, Hyro can use the crimper. This device squeezes a metallic band around the neck of the bag, sealing it, its oxygen, water, and inhabitant safely inside the bag.
What I'm doing here is because the fish is kind of small, so when it gets to the corners in the bag, in the boxes, they might get smashed. So I have to put tape on the corners so they don't get in the corners.
And with all his bags now sealed and the corners taped in, Hyro now counts and places the bags into mylar-lined, insulated styrofoam shipping boxes. With the boxes filled, he now marks the order number onto the side of the boxes.
We're done.
He then places the boxes to the side so that the next step can continue.
Who will close up those boxes? Once the order's done, they'll fill out the paperwork and then they take it to the back for the drivers. Once the drivers get the paperwork, they know where the boxes are at, they come get it, and they take it to the back and pack it up.
And they close the lid and everything.
They have the lids over there, but they have to put the e-packs on.
Ah, all right. Very good, thank you.
No problem.
Up in the northwest side of Los Angeles, near Thousand Oaks, is a gated community called North Ranch. A while back, I set up a 400-gallon bow-front aquarium system. Over the last few months, I've been slowly adding fish, and I've now reached the point where I can comfortably add the tangs. Due to the tangs' greater territorialism, I'm adding today only the Naso and the blue tangs. Having quarantined these fish for several weeks now, I'm comfortable adding the fish to the tank. This tank gets its decorative corals rotated out every other week, and this is a good time to start acclimating the fish, as I plan to also do a large water change.
So that's the first part of vacuuming the gravel. We also took the opportunity to add some water from the tank to the buckets that the fish are acclimating in. They seem to be doing well and not stressing out, which is a good thing.
Back down on the Santa Monica Bay coastline in Hermosa Beach, Dan Gilboa of Age of Aquariums is cutting PVC pipe, Sean is drilling holes in the metal stand, and Jason is pre-assembling some plumbing items. Dan is working on the inlet and outlet portion of the 2 water pumps. Sean is creating the support straps that will help hold the horizontal drain lines. And Jason is gluing in the union ball valves and elbows to the underside of the tank. Individually, it looks like they're walking over each other. But collectively, these 3 fellows are creating the foundation of this 1,200-gallon aquarium's filter and circulation systems. Dan has created an intake strainer for the water pump, but with such an attractive coral reef sculpture inside the tank, Dan has to be real clever with any plumbing he places in view inside the tank.
So tell us, what is that you're putting in there?
That's an inlet for the closed system. Right now it looks ugly, not natural like the rest of the reef structure, but we have a coral structure coming in here to camouflage that. And the reason for it being out in the open so we can get to it, access it, and keep it clean.
So Sean, I can see you're drilling holes there to put clamps in. Give me an idea as to ultimately what the clamp's going to hold.
We're going to have a pipe go from the overflow, connected to each overflow, as well as one of the center ones, and it's going to be one pipe connecting all of them. This is going to be a support. It's going to hold it to the structure, keep it structurally sound, and keep it from sagging. We're going to hit every single one of the support beams. And then that way, even with the weight of the water, we're not going to be actually having any sagging. We don't have to worry about the joints leaking. You know, it's going to be as safe as we can make it and as structurally sound as we can make it. That way we don't have any problems later on.
Hi there, my name's Jim Stime, and you know me as the LA Fish Guy. Well, I also wear a couple of other hats. One of them is the jellyfish tank called the Jelly Aquarium, and the third is myfishtank.com. I offer an entire line of acrylic aquariums ranging from rectangular to hexagon, flatback hex, as well as the custom curve front aquariums. There's also an entire line of stands and canopies ranging from MDF to pine to oak with a variety of different finishes available. And the website is even smart enough that you can calculate what the freight and crate charges to your location will be. That's myfishtank.com.
Hi, my name's Dean from Tropical Imports here in Glendale, California. We have all different types of tropical fish, freshwater and saltwater. We have reptiles, freshwater plants, goldfish, saltwater invertebrates. We've got all different types of little aquariums here for betas, for tropical fish, mini, nano reef, for plants, saltwater fish. I've got all different types of bowls. Whatever you like, we've got it.
Reef Hobbyist magazine believes that our hobby, our fellow hobbyists, and the animals in our care are best served by the free distribution of quality information. Reef Hobbyist magazine provides hobbyists with critical husbandry information with an emphasis on marine ornamental breeding efforts. Reef Hobbyist magazine is available for free in local fish stores across the country, or you can subscribe at www.reefhobbyistmagazine.com. Up in Glendale at Tropical Imports, Dean has received an early morning delivery of freshwater fish and aquatic plants that he still needs to finish putting away.
Some of the bags are a little discolored because they might have a little stress relief medication going in there to aid in their transportation. And then here, ooh, we got some nice big albino rainbow sharks. Wow, those are nice and big. Wow. It's always neat to see the fish when they come in. Hopefully they're as big as I want. I try to order a lot of fish that are a little larger than you'll find at most places. I just like larger fish. I think they're prettier.
It's just like Christmas morning.
All right, we'll put those guys in here.
While he may not have received all that he ordered, Dean has received quite a wide variety of fish.
Okay, everybody getting to their liking. We'll see, we got the cichlids go on the other side.
That range from fancy-tailed
Let's find a
guppies
tank for these guys.
to rummy-nosed tetras to African cichlids. That's quite the range in water chemistries.
Well, I'm always trying to find a vacancy here that will accommodate the new guys. Man, where are we going? We got lots of fish, so
And it's not always just water chemistry.
I think we'll go over here.
In the case of African cichlids,
Those guys in there,
it's also about compatibility,
just everything.
as cichlids can be quite aggressive towards each other.
All right, we're gonna leave those guys for a few minutes. We'll go through the plants that come in. I have a place for them already. And then we'll go ahead and open these guys. We won't leave them too long in the bags acclimating. They've had a long flight. They want to get to their home.
Dean's supplier apparently brings them in from outside the country.
All right, these are the grommies. We'll put these guys back. Let's see here. Certain aquariums make different fish look nicer. So the bright blue fish would look a lot better displayed in a blackback aquarium, although we don't have a lot of room right now. But we'll find a place. Oh, here's a place for them. We'll put them in right here. Slide these guys in here. I'll slide this over. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right, we'll go up, take a look at those plants now.
Just below the city of Inglewood and on 104th Street is Sea-Dwelling Creatures. They've generated saltwater fish sales that have been pulled by order fillers, overseen by customer service, carefully and properly bagged, sealed, and placed in shipping containers by the packaging department. It's now up to the shipping department to bring all the aspects of this order together. Each insulated styrofoam container is placed inside a cardboard shipping box. These shipping boxes are marked with the corresponding order numbers. The filled styrofoam containers are placed inside the shipping boxes. Heat packs are added if it's cold, and cold packs are added if it's warm. The Mylar shipping bag is closed. A lid is placed on the styrofoam container, and the shipping box is closed and sealed. The numerous boxes are matched up with the order numbers in the paperwork, and the appropriate shipping labels are placed on the boxes. At this point, with all their I's dotted and T's crossed, the boxes are loaded into a delivery van. From this point, the driver will drop them off at the appropriate airlines for shipment out to the various customers. Up again in the west end of the LA area, just past the Agora Hills, is a gated community called North Ranch. I'm adding 2 pairs of tangs to a 400-gallon Bowfront aquarium, but I need to finish adding back 40 gallons of new saltwater, as well as the clean, decorative corals.
That completes the water change.
It's a big job, and it wears me out each time.
I think we're ready to add some fish to the tank now. So these fish have been acclimating for the last 2.5 hours in the 5-gallon buckets that I brought them in. Again, there's a couple of blonde naso tangs and that pair of blue tangs. So let's go ahead and introduce them into the tank. So normally I might consider using a net for these big fish. They've got those big barbs on the back end of their tail. It could slice your hand open. But you saw this morning when I was catching them out of the tank at home to put into the bucket, they got all caught up in the net. So what I think I'm going to do is try to introduce them by hand.
It's because of those large scalpels or barbs at the base of the tail on the tangs that could slice deep cuts in my hand. But with the use of a towel for protection and my approach being cautious, it's a lesser traumatic introduction into the aquarium. I'll take the same approach with the blue tangs. These being smaller, it may take a bit more to catch them though. The trick in catching fish though is to be smarter than the fish, which isn't always easy. And even though it doesn't happen all the time, it's always a good sign of happy fish when they all come out right away. And an even better sign of a comfortable fish is when they come out and eat right away. Down along the coastline in Hermosa Beach, Dan of Age of Aquariums and his crew are coming to the tail end of their first day of the 20-foot-long, 1,200-gallon aquarium installation. Their day started early with the heavy equipment movers and a forklift. With the use of rollers and a hydraulic stacker, they moved the 2,800-pound tank into the building and then lifted it up onto the metal stand. Now that the tank is in position and the floor beneath the tank has been re-supported, it's time for Dan to begin to assemble the plumbing for the filter system. This large tank's filter actually sits behind and above the tank. It's going to require some careful thought on Dan's part how to set it up.
Jim had a good idea about just coming straight up. I might just do that. Just get a 2-inch coupler. I have to come up higher.
But together, Dan, Sean, and Jason discuss what they need to do and how best to be able to do it.
Maybe give a guy closer to the stretch a little bit.
Yeah, you need to be closer to the stretch. And we're calling it a day tonight. It's been a long day. We're going to get a fresh and early start tomorrow morning. So come join us tomorrow and for the next episode of installing the 20-foot aquarium.
It's guys like Dan, Dean, Terry, and I who get up very early in the morning. They work late into the night and never find anything about fish to be boring. Whether it's receiving little guppies or overseeing the shipment of colorful fish, delivering 2 different kinds of tangs, or building someone's big aquarium wish. When you're a fish guy, it's in your blood and in your word. Whether it's morning, noon, or night, as a fish guy, you just keep moving forward.